On that discovery list is communication. It's a way of recording how people communicate who don't communicate with words. And any of you who have worked with somebody who doesn't communicate with words, and you love that person and you've worked with them for 6 months, you know how they communicate. So it's not learning how they communicate. The people doing direct support typically already know. It's that it doesn't get written down. And then staff turnover. And the new person comes in not knowing. Have you ever seen the look on the people who use services face when they get a new staff person? Oh, staff are so hard to train. How long is it going to take her to get it? You need to write it down. And you also need to recognize that people misinterpret things. I was working with a woman named Rhonda. Rhonda is an amazing staff trainer. Rhonda has a reputation of being outspoken, and she doesn't communicate with words. So they said, you know, we need you because we have problems on the weekend. On the weekend, she doesn't cooperate with dressing. I go, but she does on the weekday? And they said, yeah. We need to fix this. So I said, let me listen to the person who works with her on the weekday. How does this work? So I talked to Allison, and Allison said, well, what you do is you go and you knock on Rhonda's door, and all the women who live in this house need physical assistance getting going. And you knock on Rhonda's door and you open it, and Rhonda will have the sheet up over her head. I said, well, what does that mean? She said, it means go away. So I said, what do you do? She said, and she looked at me like, what do you mean, what do you do? She said, you go away. And you go help Sally. Sally's always ready. But she said, you need to remember to knock on Rhonda's door first. And I said, after you help Sally, what do you do? And she said, you go back and knock on Rhonda's door. And I played this little game. I open the door as I knock, because it's so funny. You can see Rhonda putting the sheet up over her head. And I said, what does it mean that time? She says, it still means go away. So she said, yeah, so I go away. And I help Helen. She'll be ready by then. And then I come back and knock on Rhonda's door the third time. And unless Rhonda's sick, or there's something she really doesn't want to do, she will be up on her elbows looking at you. And I said, that means she's ready? She said, absolutely, it means she's ready. So listen to that behavior. Does it remind you of anything you do? Snooze alarm. Choose using us as a snooze alarm. How many of you need 2 snooze alarm hits in the morning? Pretty common. So I asked her, well, some of you are going 3, 4. But I asked the staff person, how much extra time does it take to do this? She said, altogether? I said, yeah, altogether. She said, I don't know, under a minute. And the weekend staff said, we don't have time for this. You want us to coddle these people. And I turned to the manager and said, actually, I think you need new staff. Because this is somebody who sees themselves as a caretaker, not a supporter, and wants things organized for themselves. So that's the discovery skills.